this. Did I not have a thing for it? I'll look it up here in a second. So, MAGA melts down as Germany declares far-right extremists. Very misleading headline, Daily Beast. Very misleading headline. Allow me to dig up something else, shall we? Give me 1 second here. I swear I had another fucking tweet for this. That basically I think it was Marco Rubio who tweeted out, and everybody's like, oh, the German blah 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 clapped back so hard and BTFO'd him and all this other shit. And it's just like, okay, so it's not there. All right. Okay, Okay, so what exactly happened? Let's check out Grok here. So I asked the wrong question. So Germany did not ban the AfD. So they've designated the AfD as an extremist party. So all the people screaming about Muh Democracy, they just banned a political party in Germany for, quote, proven right-wing extremist organization. Okay. Now that may be true, but they're also like the second or third largest party in Germany. So an entire block of Germany's democratic representation has basically just been designated as a right-wing extremist organization. Classification, yeah, so here we go. Banning, criticized Germany's intelligence agency for classifying the AfD and not for an outright ban. Okay, the classification was announced on May 2nd and allows increased surveillance of the AfD, but does not equate to a ban. Okay, so there you go. Though it has sparked debate on potentially banning the party. And, all right, so what we're going to do is we're literally just going to fucking find little Marco's fucking tweet. Unless there's a... Bam, there we go. Secretary Marco Rubio and... Jesus. Germany just gave its spy agency new powers to surveil the opposition. This is not democracy, it's tyranny in disguise. I don't know about that. Which took second. So yeah, they took second in a recent election. But let's see, community notes. The clause in the German constitution that refers to these cases. Also, the paradox of tolerance is relevant here. I love how they always use that. It's great, isn't it? It's great. Okay, so I want to try to find the actual one. So did he delete it? Because this is not the correct. This is not the one, is it? I don't think it is. Huh. So this is a little bit different than I thought it was. Here we go. This is democracy. This is what I wanted to. So this is the tweet. This decision is a result of a thorough and independent investigation to protect our Constitution and the rule of law. It is independent courts that will have the final say. We have learned from our history that right-wing extremism needs to be stopped. And I just want to ask you a question. Do you think this would be the same response if it were the other way around? Imagine the United States banned progressive parties because they were extremists. Now, you can't do that in the United States. That would actually be illegal. My point is that everybody in the entire fucking world be losing their goddamn minds. But because we've demonized right-wing and right-wing extremists for so long, as just in general, as far as the right wing goes, so anything that's not left is a right-wing extremist. Ultra-right, super right, alt-right. This is what they do. Now, it's entirely possible, and I do believe I watch Kraut videos, and if you know him, you know what I'm talking about. And he is absolutely, as far as I can tell, he has absolutely confirmed for me that the AFD is probably not a good thing. But again, if this is democracy, right? This is democracy, right? Democracy. So if you're banning parties or designated them as extremists so that you can spy on them more, that does not sound like democracy at all, does it? If the people voted for it, that's democracy. If the people voted for it, but the government says, nah, son, you can't do that, that's not democracy. It's not. The reason we have the Bill of Rights is because democracy is dangerous, and we know it. The founders knew. That's why the people don't have democratic power over the government. We literally do not. We cannot vote for the government to do anything. We vote for people who go into the government to do things, and that they are sent into a system that is literally designed to prevent them from doing anything too bad, too upsetting, to turn up the boat, to turn over the boat. And so when they scream, "This is democracy," I want you to understand something. This is democracy as long as you're not right-wing. This is what this says to me. And it's like, you can bitch about, oh, they're actually Nazis. Yeah, that's fine. I don't give a fuck. That's not the point. The point is that you keep screaming about fucking democracy, but it's not democracy. You get what I'm saying? This is not democracy if you're doing this to a popular party. Now, you could say, oh, they're Nazis and we need to stop them. I can accept that. But that's not democracy. That is not democracy. That is something else. And you know it's something else. And you're lying. So stop it. Let's see what Community Notes has to say. The investigation was not independent. The intelligence agency that carried out the investigation works under the supervisor, the interior minister, who's a member of the left-wing SPD that opposes and seeks to ban the AFD. Well, that's very interesting. Explicitly not independent per its founding law. The former president of the agency let it slip that its job is to lower the AFD's numbers in the polls. Ooh, that's probably a misquote. So, Secretary of State Marco Rubio threw a temper tantrum, a temper tantrum after German intelligence agency classified a far-right organization as extremist. Germany's domestic intelligence agency labeled the Alternative for Germany, AfD party, as a proven right-wing extremist organization. The party's platform is based on anti-immigration ideology. There is nothing wrong with an anti-immigration ideology. Several AfD leaders have repeated Nazi slogans and threatened to deport German citizens of non-ethnic German heritage. Okay, that's fucked up. I agree that's fucked up. But you designating them as a proven right-wing extremist organization, that's not democracy. No matter how much you scream it's democracy, it's not. Just because, and if it gives you more ability to spy on them, and then the people who are running this shit are saying shit like this, oh, and they refuse to publish the document on which the classification as extremist party is based. Okay, there you go. So maybe all this is bullshit, so we got to take that into account. Remember, it confirms my biases, so I have to realize that that it might be wrong as well, right? My biases being that when people on the left scream "Muh Democracy," what they're saying is mine, not yours. The democracy part is irrelevant. He slammed the agency's decision on X and urged the country to reverse course. Germany just gave its spy agency new powers to surveil the opposition. That's not democracy. It's tyranny in disguise. And I would agree that if you are let me say this. I could see a world where this is a legitimate thing to do, but you need to tell the people why. So they need to, they declaring it a far right extremist organization is not enough. You need to show why you designated it. What is the evidence you use to do this? And if you do that, then I could definitely see this being like, okay, well, you know, oh, they've got ties to terrorists and shit like that. You know, oh, I don't know, like half the fucking Democratic Party has ties to fucking terrorists. You just gotta love that, right? In our country, right? Oh, you didn't know that? You didn't know that the fucking people who did a bunch of bombings for the Weather Underground in the 70s are still on speaking tours for progressive causes and interact with Democrats all the time? You didn't know that? Wow. It's almost like they don't report that shit in the news. Huh. But I guarantee you, the moment a person on the right interacts with anybody that is untoward or morally questionable at all, it'll be headline news all over the fucking place. What is truly extremist is not the popular AFD, which took second in recent election, but rather the establishment's deadly open border immigration policies the AFD opposes. Okay, so sure. The decision was announced on Friday by the Germany's Federal Office for Protection of the Constitution, which gives German authorities increased oversight over the AFD. This is the first time in modern government history with a party nationwide representation on a federal level has been labeled extremist, but the party is growing. So if the German government labels the party as extremist and it still continues to grow, are you really a democracy? If you're ignoring the will of your own people? Oh, because you don't want to become Nazis again. Okay, that's fair. But are you really a democracy? Are you gonna oppress and suppress a majority of your population if that's what they vote for? Not Nazis specifically, but the AFD. Musk said, yeah, Elon Musk calling it centrist. I'm not sure how much I like that. Only the AFD can save Germany. It's most representative in East Germany. Interesting. The West tore down the Berlin Wall together, and it has been rebuilt, but not by the Soviets, but by the German establishment. That's a good one. I like that. So yeah, it classified as extremist, spent 3 years investigating the party, released a 1,000-page report that confirmed the party's violations of the core constitutional principles. They released a 1,000-page report. I see what I mean about saying this is wrong. On why let's see what it says. Section released a 1,100-page report in May detailing why the Alternative for Germany party was classified. There you go. Okay, there you go. See? Fucking assholes full of shit. Let's see what else we got. What are we using? Won't be made public. There you go. There you go. Okay, so that's what it is. They didn't make it public. Got it. So that's the nuance of this story. The report is based on a 3-year investigation and is classified and intended for internal use, so it's somebody needs to leak this shit. The reports they're racist and anti-Muslim. Okay, that's nice. Is that illegal? Rooted in ethnicity and ancestry-based understanding. Again, is this illegal in Germany? I'm assuming it is illegal in Germany. And if that's the case, you don't have a democracy. I'm just going to say that. Which BFV deems incompatible with Germany's constitutional principles. Particularly human dignity, democracy, and rule of law. I love that they keep using this word. It's like it has no meaning. It means whatever they want it to say. It's literally a buzzword at this point. So it's like, you can have a democracy, and you could still be racist and anti-Muslim. You do understand that, right? These two things are not antithetical to one another. Xenophobic and anti-minority rhetoric. The AFD's ongoing agitation against refugees and migrants, especially those from predominantly Muslim countries, is seen as violating the human dignity by devaluing an entire population segments and stirring irrational fears. Is it irrational to fear Islam? Especially fundamental Islam? Is it irrational to fear people who practice fundamental Islam? I think it's a rational fear to fear. I think it's a rational fear to fear fundamentalist Christians. Should it not be a rational fear to fear fundamentalist Islam and Islamists? Is that not a thing? Because, like, I guarantee you, if they were all fucking, like, doctors and lawyers and fucking they weren't breaking any laws and they weren't doing anything, like, untoward, all of these motherfuckers who are racist would be a tiny, tiny minority. But the reason people listen to them is because you're not listening to the people who are complaining about the problem immigrants. Because think about it like this. The vast majority of immigrants are just normal people, right? They don't give a fuck about any of this shit. It's a small minority of their community that tends to be the problem makers. And if you're not able to criticize them because they're brown and or Muslim, then you're just going to allow the worst of the worst human garbage to color the entire immigrant population with a bad brush. Because you're not going to hold them to account, and they're going to make everybody look bad. Because the only difference between them and the normal population is the fact that they're Muslim and or their skin color. And so if you do not punish the people that break the rules and separate them from the good immigrants who obey the laws and want to be part of your civilization, if you don't separate them out, then everybody else will lump them together. Because guess what? The vast majority of people are ignorant fucking rednecks. That's just the way it is, right? There's like 20 to 30% of the human population has an IQ below fucking 70. I think it's maybe like 20, right? And it's like 30% below 80, right? You can't have a functioning democracy if your population doesn't have at least an average IQ of 90. Anti-constitutional goals. The party's position aims to exclude certain groups, particularly migrants and Muslims, from equal societal participation, assigning them legally devalued status. Okay, that's bad. If that's true, that they seek to like violate their own constitution by not giving them the same rights as everybody else, that's bad. Of course, it may just be rhetoric, so we don't know. Because the thing about it is if you want to just deport all the fucking, immigrants, then that's not legally devalued status. It's just like, no, you're not welcome here. Go away. No one has a right to live in your country except your own citizens. Extremist activities, statements, and actions. I love how it's statements. So it wasn't a call to action. It wasn't a violation of the law. No, it was just a statement. And actions by AFD leaders such as trivializing the Holocaust. That's bad. Using banned Nazi slogans. I live in America, so I like fuck your fucking speech laws. And distributing campaign materials like deportation ticket flyers, which promoted investigation for incidents of hatred. I am so glad we have free speech enshrined in law. I'm so fucking glad. I'm so fucking glad, dude. The BFV noted that over 10,000 of the 38,000 far-right extremists counted in Germany last year are AfD members. And the party has ties to extremist groups and Russia. Classification allows surveillance, including informants, communication monitoring, has fueled debates, potentially banning, though no ban has been implemented. The BFV's decision was upheld by prior court rulings. Appeal against suspect extremist status. While the report itself isn't public, its conclusions have been widely reported, drawing criticism from figures like U.S. who call the surveillance powers tyranny. I mean, it kind of is. It kind of is. Tyranny in disguise. Because, I mean, you think about it like this. This is exact. Like, if you were running a faux democracy that was tyrannical in nature, this is exactly what the fuck you would do. You would designate the party that you don't like as fucking extremist and potentially dangerous, which would give you more ability to spy on them, which would then give you more ability to literally just make up bullshit, and then you could just throw them all in jail off your made up bullshit. Like, this is the thing that I don't think I don't think the clapback asshole understands. I don't think the German Foreign Office understands that if you lived in a faux democracy that was fake, it was a fake democracy that was ruled by tyrants, this is the kind of shit they do. You get to vote, but I get to choose who you vote for. Democracy. Yes, democracy. And to be fair, I'm gonna now flip on the other side of this and be like, look, it's entirely possible that they are fucking Nazis, and I'm not gonna lie. Because of Germany's past, I really don't blame them for fucking trying to cut this off at the fucking head, if it's true. Now, it could be one of these things where it's only slightly true, where a few of the people are really, really far right extremists who are, mostly hiding their power level from the public, and once they get in power, they're going to do all the crazy Nazi shit. That's entirely possible. But again, you got to see how this looks. And I also want to bring back up the deporting illegals in the United States. When the situation is bad enough, you do things like this, right? We can't let Nazis come back to power, right? Literally, the German Foreign Office is calling this democracy. This is democracy, where you designate the popular opposing party as far-right extremists, or excuse me, as political extremists, so you can spy on them and potentially ban them. That's exactly how a tyrant would act. So you say it's democracy, but this is also how a faux democracy would act, right? On the other hand, stopping Nazis may actually require you to fucking linking that shit up. And this is the same argument I make to all the bitches who are screaming about illegal immigration and Trump violating fucking court orders and shit. It's like, when does it become enough? We all praise Lincoln. We got a gigantic fucking 30-foot statue of him in Washington, D.C. where his ass is sitting on a fucking throne. And he violated the Constitution up and down, fucking damn near every fucking article. We praise him for keeping the country together, for winning the war. And he did shit far worse than this. Extreme times call for extreme measures. So, all I can do is wish Germany the best on this one, man. Because I don't know what the fuck's going on over there. I have no fucking clue, dude. And I'm not gonna simply base my opinion on a fucking Grok thing and Marco Rubio fucking having a tit with fucking the German Foreign Office, right? I don't. But all I'm saying is that when you scream about democracy and then you turn around and do shit like this, you look fake as fuck. Especially when you don't release the 1,000-page report. Now, if it's got like stuff in it that's like would give away people that are undercover or something, that's called you can redact that, by the way. That's what that's useful for. But you are doing something that is essentially what one would consider beyond the pale in a democracy, right? Like, again, imagine if Trump did this to the Democratic Party. Because there was like some kind of crazy fucking attack, and just imagine he did it. And imagine he used this. Oh, they're far left extremists. They're fucking commies. We found ties to Antifa from them burning down Teslas and burning down shit during the BLM riots. We finally fucking got them, boys. And now we're going to designate the Democratic Party as a far left extremist organization. And that gives us the ability to use the CIA to fucking spy on them. Legally. Muh Democracy, huh? Yeah, it doesn't look so nice when it's on the other foot. And you can bitch and moan about, oh, they're actual Nazis all they want. That's irrelevant to my point. I just talked about that. I just talked about the fucking Lincoln, right? You want to Lincoln it up? That's fine. But don't gaslight me and tell me it's democracy, okay? Anyway. So, yeah, it's fucking hilarious. And, I mean, it doesn't surprise me with all of the fucking immigration problems that Europe is having with all the stupid shit. They've basically done the extreme example of suicidal empathy. Because, and I don't necessarily blame Germany for it after fucking World War II, right? So, but it is going to be one of those things. It's just like in Britain. If you do not allow them to elect someone to fix this problem and release the pressure that's building up, you are going to have a real big fucking problem. This is one of the things that Sargon talked about, Carl Benjamin, when Trump was first elected, or during Trump's first election race, is that we need populist reform, and a pressure cooker is building in the general population, and if it is not released, then it will cause a revolution. And I do believe he was correct. It might have taken another 20 or 30 years, but I do believe he was correct. If we had kept going down the same line with all the fucking immigration shit and the Democrats just turning a blind eye to all the fucking crime that the extreme ends of the minority of the migrant populations were causing, then it would have, and it would have been a bloody thing. Because there's only so much you're going to be able to take when you hear reports, like in Britain, of, you know, rape gangs that have been going on for 30 years that literally target fucking little white girls. Now, I'm obviously exaggerating, but the point is that there's only so much a population is going to take before they're just going to take matters into their own hands, right? What happens the next time? Like, imagine that shit happened in the United States. I guarantee you, I know exactly what the fuck would happen. There'd be a bunch of fucking good old boys get their fucking AR-15s, and they'd go kill a lot of people. That's exactly what the fuck would happen. They'd go find the motherfuckers that did it, and they'd fucking execute them. That's exactly what they would do. Yeah. Especially if they weren't in jail. Like, if they went in jail, oh, okay, well, you know, okay. As long as they get locked away forever or put to death, that's fine. But if they like get out because, oh, they're migrants and they don't understand the culture, like stupid shit like they've been doing in Britain, yeah, a lot of these motherfuckers would be dead. A lot of them would. A lot of them. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so we're gonna